the 100-year sacrifice, and the prosperity built on stolen kings' souls.
Long before songs were written about kings and wars, there were two villages separated by a slow, winding river that people believed carried memory and grudges within its waters. On one side stood Aroko, a proud royal land ruled by Prince Damilare's father, a king known for strength and order. On the other side was Iloba, a quieter village that never lacked food, rain, or children's laughter, though no one could explain why their farms never failed. The elders whispered that Iloba's prosperity came from an ancient promise sealed with blood long before either village had a name, but such whispers were dismissed as old people's fear. It was from Iloba that the woman named Sewa came, with beauty so calm and dangerous that even the wind slowed when she walked. Prince Damilare first saw Sewa during the river festival, where both villages were forced by tradition to meet once every 10 years. She did not dance wildly like the other women, nor did she laugh loudly to draw attention. She stood still, eyes deep and thoughtful, as though she carried centuries inside her chest. When their eyes met, something ancient stirred between them, something neither could explain. Damilare felt as if he had known her before birth, while Sewa felt fear wrap around her heart because she knew that love was the one thing her bloodline was forbidden to touch. Still, love does not ask permission, and by the end of that night, their souls had already chosen each other. Their love grew quietly, like roots spreading under the soil where no one could see. Damilare visited Iloba often, pretending to inspect borders, while Sewa told her people she was fetching herbs by the river. With each meeting, Sewa's heart grew heavier because the closer she came to happiness, the closer she came to the truth she had buried since childhood. Her grandmother had warned her that every 100 years, one woman from their lineage would be born marked by the serpent spirit, chosen to protect the village by consuming the soul of a king. Sewa had always prayed that the curse would skip her generation, but deep inside, she felt the serpent coil and wait. When Damilare announced he would marry Sewa, Aroko shook with shock and anger. Iloba was a rival village, and no prince had ever married beyond the river. The elders protested, soldiers whispered of betrayal, and even the king hesitated, fearing unseen consequences. But Damilare stood firm, claiming that peace was stronger than pride and that Sewa was worth any risk. Sewa watched from a distance as her future was debated like a war strategy, knowing that none of them understood the danger sleeping beneath her skin. She wanted to scream the truth, but fear of losing him sealed her lips. As the wedding preparations began, strange signs followed Sewa like shadows. Snakes appeared near her hut, but never harmed her. Her dreams filled with moonlight and hissing voices calling her by an older name she did not recognize. At night, her skin burned as if something inside her wanted to break free, and she would press her body against the cold earth to calm herself. She began fasting secretly, hoping hunger would weaken the curse, hoping love alone could silence ancestral hunger. Each sunrise brought her closer to her wedding and closer to her transformation. The elders of Iloba gathered in secret, their faces lined with guilt and fear, knowing the truth they had hidden for generations. They spoke of the last serpent bride, how she had wept while consuming her king lover, and how her tears had watered the soil for a century of abundance. They knew Sewa's love made her dangerous to tradition because hesitation could destroy everything. Still, none dared confront her because to interfere with the curse was to invite famine, sickness, and death upon the village. Silence became their cowardice, and Sewa became their sacrifice. The wedding day arrived under a sky too perfect to trust. Drums echoed across the river, and people from both villages gathered in forced celebration. Sewa looked radiant in her bridal cloth, but her smile trembled like a leaf before rain. Damilare saw only the woman he loved, unaware that he was walking willingly towards his own ending. As vows were exchanged, the moon began to rise earlier than expected, pale and watchful, as if it had come to witness an old promise being fulfilled. When night finally came and the celebrations faded, Sewa followed Damilare into the royal chamber with legs that felt heavy as stone. Her heart screamed for escape, but duty and love chained her in place. As the moon climbed higher, a sharp itch spread across her arms and back, and she grasped as her skin tightened painfully. Scales shimmered briefly beneath her flesh before fading again, and fear flooded her eyes. Damilare reached for her, confused, but she pulled away, begging him to keep his distance, though she could not yet find the courage to explain why. The transformation began slowly, cruelly, as though giving her time to regret every choice she had made. Her nails hardened, her pupils narrowed, and her breath grew cold. Sewa collapsed to the floor, crying not from pain but from heartbreak, whispering apologies to the man who had done nothing wrong. The serpent spirit awakened fully, hungry and ancient, reminding her of the oath sealed by blood long before love existed. Damilare watched in horror as the woman he married began to change into something both beautiful and terrifying. At last, Sewa confessed everything, her voice breaking as she spoke of the curse, the 100-year sacrifice, and the prosperity built on stolen kings' souls. She begged Damilare to run, to let her die alone before the serpent fully claimed her. But love made him foolish and brave, and he refused to abandon her, even when fangs replaced her teeth. He held her as best he could, telling her that no tradition was worth her tears, unaware that his kindness only deepened her torment. The serpent spirit demanded completion, pushing Sewa toward violence, twisting her love into unbearable hunger. Her body fought itself, human tears falling from serpent eyes as she clawed at the floor to resist. Outside, the moon reached its highest point, sealing her fate. She realized then that survival did not always mean living, and love sometimes required a sacrifice greater than death. With a final cry, Sewa made her choice. Instead of consuming Damilare's soul, Sewa turned the curse inward, biting into her own arm and offering her life force to the serpent spirit. The pain was unbearable, but she held on, whispering love into the darkness as her human form shattered. The spirit raged, but eventually accepted the offering, retreating with a promise never to arise again from her bloodline. When the moon set, the curse ended, but so did Sewa's life as a woman. At dawn, the people found a massive white serpent coiled lifeless around the bed, its scales dull and cracked like broken pottery. Damilare stood beside it, hollow-eyed, holding the bridal cloth stained with blood and moonlight. Iloba's lands remained fertile, but the elders knew the prosperity came at a cost greater than they had ever paid. No songs were sung that morning, only silence and shame. Damilare never remarried, ruling with a quiet sadness that shaped him into a wise and gentle king. He outlawed sacrifices, cursed traditions, and secret oaths, declaring that no village would ever again prosper from innocent blood. The river between the villages became a symbol of mourning instead of rivalry, and people told the story of the serpent bride not as a warning but as a lesson about love and courage. Even now, On nights when the moon is full and low, villagers say they see a white serpent gliding peacefully along the river, watching over both lands without hunger or rage. They say she no longer seeks souls, only remembrance, and that is why the elders still whisper her name with respect, because they never knew she was a snake until her wedding night, but they never forgot that she chose love over survival.